What up, what up, what up? Perfect pitches. Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully, you guys are doing excellent and taking care of yourselves. Today, we are going to inspect and kind of examine what the Area 51 supposed alien interview video has within it and whether or not it's a hoax or the real deal. We want to go back into the YouTube's archives and pull this thing out. Now, supposedly this video came from the Project Blue Book files, so to speak. So we're going to look at it and we're going to examine the video itself. We're going to examine what the alien says, and we're going to examine the examiner and the questioner, the interviewer, if you will. So let's go ahead and take a look at this tape. It's a few minutes, so we're going to take a look at it. Maybe we'll stop and talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll keep playing it. But it's really interesting. So let's get down to it. And we're put some. As you can see on the screen, it states this is one of several 16mm film reels discovered in an undisclosed government location. It is digitized in HD to preserve its original quality and presented in its raw and unedited form. We're going to get down to it here. Okay, so I'm just going to stop it real quick here for a second because I just want to set the stage here. So we're looking at what appears to be an alien in an interrogation room with a light on top of its head. Looks like a tall gray with the typical black oval eyes, large head, and he just stated that he's from Earth. Now, we're assuming that this is an Area 51, as been reported to us by this video and Project Blue Book. So let's take a look and let's keep watching. He says he's from our future. So he says they used offset spatial divergence, and he's from our future. Now, what we can compile from this is that there's stories about Jim Peniston, right, who was in the Rendlesham Forest case, who when he touched the aircraft there, it downloaded a binary code to him. When he translated that code, it stated that craft was from 8100 AD. So could these guys really be from 6,000 years in our future and they're our descendants? Possibly. Let's keep looking.
So I take it aliens took over our future, right? So you're human. Okay, so you evolved from us. So what are you doing here now? How?
Isn't that funny? Because just in our last episode, we talked about how AI was going to destroy us with nuclear war. Interestingly enough, maybe Skynet does come true, and Terminator really is just like The Simpsons forecasting our future.
Okay, so how about we concentrate on your time? Try me. Wait, so you
See, I don't like that because they immediately jump to you've seen God. I don't think most interviewers are gonna just if they're really military interviewers, they're just gonna jump to an kind of an irrational statement. You understand the meaning of life, so you've seen God. I mean, that'd be pushing it. I'd want to lead this alien into telling me they've seen God or asking, not just like an assumptive question, which makes me question the validity a little bit, but we'll continue to listen.
Okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die? Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right?
That's exactly what I've talked about in so many podcasts. We experience each other's lives, 360 near death experience, life review. You feel all the pain and all the suffering and all the benefits that you've ever given to another human or living thing. Now, the only thing the other thing I don't like about this video is the alien's moving his mouth. No other aliens move their mouth. So I don't really get that. I don't really understand that. It's all telepathy unless they, just ask this alien to move his mouth for the video. Let's continue.
Okay, so how was the universe created, and why is it so perfectly made for us?
Okay.
Moving on. Okay, so why do we destroy ourselves with nuclear war? Can you be more specific, please? Okay, one last thing. What about morality? What are you basing your morality on?
So I like how they ask him, what is dogma? How do we destroy ourselves? It's based on dogma. It's based on, preconceived notions and egos and everything like that. And then they ask him about morality. I don't know as if the military would ask about morality unless this isn't a military interviewer. Military is basically interested in one thing only, defense and offense. They're not concerned so much about morality. So this has got to be, if it is real, a non-military interviewer asking about other ethereal and, esoteric questions.
I see. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
This part's a little weird because they're bouncing around with the camera. And then they take it to another interview where he's like strapped up. His arms are up and strapped up now.
Are you scared of me? You should be.
Unless this is a different alien.
Okay. So
Maybe he's like the leader or
you're
something.
from the future and an evolutionary descendant of humans.
But he looks the
You
same.
also say you're a different species. So, which one is it?
They're
Are you a
asking him
descendant of humans
the
or
same
not?
questions as before. So they're showing the fact that we can be evolutionary descendants of first Homo sapiens.
Then how do you know English? Answer me. If you don't answer, I'll administer another radioscope until your system collapses. Do you understand?
So scopolamine is the it's a medication plant derived that causes drowsiness and would theoretically elicit some truthfulness.
Now, how do you speak English? So you just picked up English, just like that.
So the being said he had to learn English in order to understand our species and communicate with us. Well, if they're higher species, they're definitely going to be able to communicate with us just through telepathy, not by speaking it, lending itself to the questionability of the video.
Because you're so smart, right?
And the interviewer is a bit sarcastic here.
Right. So, you said you know the origin of the universe, but you did not provide an explanation. So I ask you again, how was the universe created? Answer the question. Really? But you can't create something out of nothing. Here it is. Only a creator can make something from nothing. Wait, you just contradicted yourself. So, wait, but you said there's an origin to the universe. Here it is. I caught you in a lie.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It's hard to understand or wrap your head around.
Right, so now you're talking nonsense. Again, how was the universe created so miraculously? So life just happened, right? So are you telling me we're just random?
That's a little rough to take for most of us. How can we accept the fact that we are just randomized and the universe is indifferent to so-called life? But it is similar to kind of thinking about you living and then jumping in a car and thinking that the car is all that existence is, and then jumping out and you're like at a forest preserve and enjoying life. Very, very different perspectives.
as so the universe doesn't care if we live or die. I don't believe that for a second. We're more than just random. So, if we're just random, then there's no meaning to the universe.
Yeah, see, that's where I have a difficulty in understanding, because we've faced so many near-death experiences where people were told they had to come back and they had to fill out some sort of mission. So for this alien and this video to say that there's no purpose to existence, I don't buy that.
So if there's no meaning in the universe, then what's the point of living? You just contradicted yourself again. No. You can't live a full life. You can't live a life that honestly you think the meaning is somehow made up. So, what is meaning? Okay, moving on. You said we humans would die as a species. So, tell me, when does the nuclear war start?
They're not going to tell us.
When does the nuclear war start?
We knew it.
Well, no. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Damn, they're just blasting them with some lights.
Now, when does the nuclear war start? Okay. By who?
Of course it will.
Really, boss? How?
Good old US of A. Ouch.
So it's you like that? Oh, well, great. So just tell me his name and we'll kill him.
See, most people would have thought that, a few different presidents might have killed us due to nuclear war in past, but, that never happened.
Of course. All right, so just tell me what he does. So it doesn't blow up. Only a million lives.
Good old radiation.
Okay, so how do we stop this?
So he's saying that their species is the evolutionary result of the fact that we let off nukes, and the radiation that ensued killed the rest of us and left behind what these guys become.
So, if we stop this lunatic from blowing us up, we'll be fine, right? Wait, but you just said that if we stop him, we won't be destroyed.
There is another threat. So, there we go. If this video is to be believed, then we have to believe that there's another threat that would come regardless of whether or not somebody was taken out of the picture. Right? Okay, we got that under control. So, could it also be true that this whole story doesn't exist at all? That could be true as well. It could be true that if you change history, that another enemy will come out and make a change and destroy humanity. That's possible as well. There's this theory that if you take out your enemy, that just another one will pop up in its place and history will not be changed. That's an interesting theory. So, what I want to know is, what do you think about this? Do you think that this is the real deal? The video looks great, but the message and the subtext and everything else in the video just doesn't seem to rate high enough for me and to be realistic enough for me to believe it. I don't think that an alien would speak with its mouth. That's a big red flag. Unless they made some sort of device to give it a voice, but it looked like it was using its own vocal cords. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Why did they not strap him up like they did in the second part of the video, in the first part of the video? Why did they strap him up? Because they wanted more information from him, because he wouldn't give them the truth? Maybe. Maybe they were, starting a torture campaign on him. That's possible. What about the whole scopolamine? Like, they're going to use scopolamine on him, basically, kind of going to make him drowsy, make him hypnotic and truthful, theoretically. That's possible. He says that they're evolutionary descendants of us from the future. Because, they had to go underground? Maybe. Is that believable? Is it believable that they're from just simply 4,000 years in the future, or 6,000 years in the future, according to Jim Peniston's touching of the craft and the message that was sent into him? 6,000 years would make that much of a difference? They'd have to do some DNA genetic modification in order to make that happen if they had that much information. The alien said that they lost a lot of information, and so they're here to observe us through time travel. That's possible. David Grush talks about aliens in the interdimensional terminology. He doesn't say they're extraterrestrial. So could these guys just be from another dimension of Earth coming back, checking us out? Or is time travel only on this plane and only from our future, our direct future, into the direct past? From looking at this being, do you think that it's our evolutionary descendant? It has larger eyes, indicating that maybe it did have to go underground. It has a larger head, skull, to encompass a larger brain pan, to make it more intelligent. Makes sense, given it more evolutionary time, and maybe some ability to do some DNA modification, some genetic modification, to continue to increase their brain size. It seems as though they should, if they are time traveling, they should have been able to go back and grab whatever information they needed that was lost before our time. Why pick 1947 or whatever time period that alien was from? I don't know. Maybe that was the exact time period where they lost some information. Now, the alien said that we were going to blow ourselves up within 50 years, half a century. Well, if that one was captured in 47, that would have made it 2000 or 1997, and was it Bill Clinton at that time? Was it Bush? Whoever the case was, we didn't have a nuclear war. We did try to go find weapons of mass destruction, and that didn't happen. And some people could say, well, the alien was talking about division and dogma and politics, and a male leader will come and he'll cause division everywhere. Well, some people could have argued that was Trump the first time, but that came and went. Now we got Biden. So we don't have that polarizing figure in office. So who's next? If Trump comes back the second term, would that be the time period in which there might be possibly some sort of war? Maybe, but this is 25 years after the time period that they said it would happen in. So maybe they were just lying. Maybe they were just throwing us off because they didn't want to screw up history, because that's what they did say, and he was being forced to give an answer by the interviewers. Otherwise, they were going to torture him some more. So who really knows? Do I believe this video is real? No, I don't. Do I believe that some of the message in the video could be real? Yeah, I do. I don't believe that it was an alien giving it to us. What would I think if this video was real? If this video was real, I think the alien was giving us some truth and some fiction. I think that the way that they were having their back and forth conversation seemed a bit sarcastic for an elevated spiritual being. And I think it felt a bit sarcastic from the interviewer. And I feel like the interviewer was asking certain questions that the military wouldn't worry about. And if that interviewer was a little bit more of a compassionate person and not necessarily a military interviewer, then I wouldn't think that he would be sarcastic. I would think that he would be a little bit more compassionate. So there's a lot of conflicting red flags in this video that I feel like it's not real. But it is fun to watch. It is fun to think about. It is fun to pick apart the little details that they give to us, the story, the message that whoever wrote this put in there. And I think it's definitely something you could sit around the campfire and talk about for quite a while. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you could understand it. I did my best to record it, and hopefully when it plays back, the text will be correct, in the correct way as opposed to reversed, so that you can read it. If not, I apologize, but hopefully you'll be able to understand the alien. And I stop it enough to talk about, what he said, so hopefully that'll give you some context. But anyway, I enjoyed that one. I've seen it on the interwebs for quite some years, and I never really got around to doing a podcast about it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. And as always, like, follow, share, subscribe, and continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, guys, take care. Lockdown Universe out.